Welcome everyone to the February? Yeah, still February. February staff planning meeting. Thank you for everybody attending online, and for those that will be watching this later. I think we can start with, let's see, I don't see Dave. So we'll do partner announcements later, if Dave has anything from Anime Twin Cities. So bear with me, I usually have this number prepared unless anybody else knows off the top of their head the exact number of days. 26 days, did you say?
Yeah, I checked yesterday, it was at 27, so. Yeah, 26 days.
We have 26 days? Now, I mean, normally I'm not frightened by the number, but okay. All right, 26 days to go. So, you know, a lot of it is going to sound the same, but for department heads, we've hit a lot of deadlines. We still, I think some of the last outstanding deadlines will be themes. Department heads will be asking for your updated staff list. So, being an entire volunteer staff, obviously we want to acknowledge the people that do all the work all year to put this on each and every year. So we'd like to make sure that we have everybody's name in the, I almost said staff handbook, but the program guide that the folks pick up. That's important to a lot of people, so make sure that your staff lists are updated so that we can make sure we don't leave anybody out on those thank you credits in the back of the program guide. We want to make sure and get that done as soon as possible. The time between panels closing and when the program guide goes to print is a short window, shortened this year by our shortened con cycle. So Dave from programming and his department has done all of their work in very, well, I wouldn't say short order, but they put all of their labors into it. So now everything is in the hands of themes, and it is a pretty significant task for Sherry and Mike to create that program guide, even with a template from scratch every year, and input all new data every year for every panel description, the grid, all those sorts of things. So we want to be as respectful as we can about their time and how much time it takes to do that. Obviously, we need to get it to the printer by their drop dead date so that we can make sure that we have those guidebooks on premises when we have thousands of people showing up in apparently 26 days. I believe a lot of the other deadlines have passed. Consuite's deadline for food requests, which would have also included mobile Consuite. If you did not get those in by the 15th, it is now incumbent upon you to email Michelle and see if she will hear you. Mobile Consuite being important for those departments that aren't able to get out as often, and that sort of thing. Otherwise, I think we'll still hold off on the partner announcements. Oh, do you have any? Oh, there's Dave, sorry. Do you have anything from ATC? We can start with partner announcements. Department announcements? Okay. Then I will start with either Mike or Andy. I don't know if one of you I can read Alex's announcements unless one of you were going to. She had sent an email.
We can do it either way.
Okay. All right, well, I'll start with Mike.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Michael Naketa, head of, I guess, the Hokkaido division. I can remember the name, the logistics effective one. Don't have a whole lot for my division, as most stuff is actually pre-set ready for the convention at this point. Our biggest updates come from CONCOM. If you're a department head, they've sent out radio request forms. They need to be in by the end of the month, which is in 9 days. So if you want radios for your department, you have to get back to John before that deadline. Otherwise, we won't have radios for you, which can be inconvenient for some departments. If you're on staff and you need to do the radio training, there is a link that has been sent out for it. Make sure you do that training or you won't be allowed to use the radios. It only takes like 20 minutes. It's just an online video training. Pretty quick, simple, and you'll be done. If you're on Concom staff, just make sure you are checking your email. John sent out a form for getting your schedules set. Make sure you get back to him so that you can get scheduled and we don't have any last minute panic happening at the convention, or at least not more than normal. As for other departments, programming, the panel submissions are closed. Do you have anything else, Dave?
Yeah, unfortunately, I was detained, didn't get to you. Departments, I only want to send out the grid and the panel descriptions to department heads. I don't want to send out 150 emails. So if your department head, you tell them that.
Yep.
Department head, send me an email that you'd like the grid. Now, and the thing, now that it's done, and I'll send it to you as soon as I get the email. Okay?
All right, if you're a department head and you want a preliminary copy of the grid so that your staff can see it and request their schedules, email Dave. He's only going to send it to the department head, so make sure that you're talking to your heads to see those grids. Artist Alley, I know all the artists are set, unless you had anything last minute to add in, Sotera? All right. Registration closed last week, right? Do we have any last minute updates, Clarissa? So yesterday was the last day for rollovers and transfers preliminary. Transfers can still happen at the convention for $5 here. So staff, you can still, if you have not registered, which you have to do, you can't work if you're not registered, you can still register today or the next meeting, or you can register online with your department head's help. They need to approve it beforehand, otherwise you're gonna end up having to pay for it here. Clarissa, do we know what the registration count is at, by chance? 4,300 about? All right, that's a lot, actually, more than I was expecting. Reservations from the hotel side, hotel reservations have closed earlier this week here. So if you do not have a hotel room yet, the blocks are shut down. There's not a whole lot we can do. You can just try and see if you can get a room at the normal rates. I know the Hyatt, I believe we getting very close to selling it out. The Hilton and the Millennium do still have some spaces available at the normal rates here. If you need a room for some kind of vendor swap or something and you didn't get to me by earlier this week, you have to get to me ASAP, and I can maybe try and still get a room in under our special rates. Otherwise, your vendors are going to be very unhappy having to sleep on the streets. Last minute, I guess, generic hotel announcements, just because that went so fast here. As you may have seen on our announcements online, we do not have food trucks this year, unfortunately. The Hyatt is providing significant more food options and places to get food. They're gonna have at least 3 to 4 extra locations selling food throughout the hotel. We also are gonna have Girl Scouts present at the convention selling cookies. So try not to sustain yourself on just Girl Scout cookies. There is other food to eat here too. And finally, we do have a partnership with Pop-Up Lockers, which, at least if you're leaving the hotel Sunday and you need a place to store your bags and such, you'll have lockers that you can rent from Pop-Up Lockers, kind of over near where Artist Alley outside of Volcon is. What? Otherwise, that's everything I've got. So, Andy, you want to go?
Hello, I'm Andy Tso. I am the Vice Chair overseeing the departments of charity auction, merchandise, themes, tabletop gaming, facilities, and volunteers. Much like Michael's departments, a lot of the deadlines have come and gone. Today is the last day for room sets for facilities, although if you have any issues with your room sets, please contact Tony. Let's see, what else? Other than that, anything for volunteers? No, nothing from volunteers, nothing from teams. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's just. All right, sure. Yeah, I can do Alex's, unless you. All right.
All right, just bear with me. Alex isn't with us today, so I'll just pull up her email and maybe. There we go. Okay. Awkward silence. Okay.
If you're watching at home, take this time to make sure you fill out the form to sign in. You need to sign in for those rights for voting.
Make sure if you're watching online, take the time to follow the sign-in procedures to get your attendance counted as towards voting rights for ATC issues. Also, for those in attendance here, please make sure you come up to the front and physically sign in here so we can also mark you as here. So, reading from Alex's email for her departments, let's see. Just another reminder from social media. Right now, we don't have a dedicated social media person, though I do want to thank Buttons will be handling social media for us at the con, which is a very sort of different issue, a different focus. So again, thank you to Buttons for handling that. So we'll get with her, and she will have some very specific ways that she would like you to handle that at con for your announcements and things like that. Regarding social media outside of that, please make sure that unless you've been given specific permissions from the social media team, do not reply to questions on the social media pages directed to Detour. In the past, there has been instances where it's created some pretty significant problems, and in the last few weeks, it's even caused some confusion. So while we really appreciate the thought and the effort behind it, it'd be nice to just sort of have a village answering these questions. It sometimes can create inaccurate or outdated information being passed on to potential attendees or vendors and things like that. So we'd rather avoid that headache. There was no new update from ConSuite. Looks like cosplay has finalized the 3 judges for the cosplay contest, so we're on track there. Exhibit hall, vendors are set, rooms set, and badge requests will be sent in soon. We're still looking for staff for the exhibit hall department. I imagine not only for AtCon, but in particularly for that Thursday setup, particularly the tape down portion. So if for those watching at home or wherever you're watching, if you are interested, you can email AD_admin@Anime Detour and let us know that might be something you're interested in. Otherwise, we'll probably be looking for current staff to see if we can pull some volunteers to help out with that on Thursday. It is a pretty significant undertaking where the taping down has to be done before we can let the vendors in so they know where to go. Guest is finalizing flights as well as food and drink for the green room, and they're also finalizing their staff. IT continues to update the website, and they're working on the mobile app, which is Sked this year. So SCHED is how you spell that. Logistics still needs more people. If you're able to help, please contact Tristan from Tech, or Tristan Anderson at animedetour.com. Dave, you have a question?
You said IT, you were talking IT, right?
Yes, IT is continuing to update the website.
If he's listening, he asked for a format, a specific format. I sent an email saying, can I get that format so I can set up a panel list, but I haven't received that format email yet.
Okay, we'll follow up on that. So if Drew is listening, Dave from programming, you're looking for a format for, what was it exactly?
He needed for the panels,
Oh,
specific format.
you,
I don't have the format yet, so I can't.
okay, Dave does not have the specific format for the grid, is it? For the panel grid yet for IT, so not able to submit that as of yet. Again, back to logistics, let Tristan know. Otherwise, an all-staff email will be sent in the next week or two. Obviously, that's of paramount importance. The sooner we're able to get stuff into the building and into its appropriate places on Thursday, the sooner those departments will be able to start unwrapping it and getting it set up. Similarly, it's very important that we have some help on the load out portion. For a number of years recently, it's been a very small group of people, and that takes a very long period of time. And we do have a contractual obligation to be done by Monday at noon. Otherwise, we are in breach of our contract and there is penalty. So not primarily for that reason. Obviously, we would like to avoid having it just be, 5 people unloading the entire con for how many hours, Tristan? 18? 25 hours? That's terrible. So if you're able to pitch in and help, not maybe for the entire duration, but any number of those hours, it would obviously be very much appreciated by the tech folks. Video has finalized the schedule. All needed discs have been purchased and are in hand. Staff is sorted and the schedule will be finalized in the next couple of weeks. So that's all of the updates that we have from departments. Before we look at, did you have something for partner announcements, Dave? Did you? Yeah. So before I switch over to our partner announcements for Anime Twin Cities, I just wanted to make sure and take another opportunity to thank all of the staff, wherever you are in terms of staff, department head, vice chair, etc., that this is the first physical event that we're going to be able to hold in 2 years. So it's been, what? 3 years. So it's been a long process, and I think it can be tough for us to sustain our enthusiasm through that period of time. Usually, I think our enthusiasm is capped by being able to enjoy the fruits of our labor in March or April, and we haven't been able to do that for 2 years. So it's just kind of been a little bit Groundhog Day for us. Like I said, we've due to the nature of the reason of that, the pandemic and stuff like that, we've, like many other conventions, have seen our staff levels decrease. So it's fewer folks bearing the same load. So I just want to make sure everybody knows how appreciative we are of everybody that's dug in and continued to work to put this on. And I'm excited. I hope everybody else is excited. We'll actually get to see people in the building and see people enjoying the panels and the stuff on main stage. And just even the things that don't normally get called to attention, like the ability to use our website and the new scheduling app. And we have a lot of new things that we're doing this year, which is always a goal, is that we're able to put a few new and exciting things into the convention each year. So this year we have a maid cafe, burlesque. Like I said, we're using Sketch. We have a little bit of a couple other things happening that, even pop-up lockers, just things like that serve the attendees a little bit better. So I hope everybody else is excited as I am, or frightened about it being 26 days away. But either way, we have at least 4,500 people coming to appreciate everything that we've spent a year planning. So thank you to everybody who's had a part in that. We don't always get to say that. We sometimes just come to the meetings and talk about the updates and then separate. But barring that, if you have anybody that you need to talk to that's here, I realize it's a small group, please make sure and get with them today, as we do only have that 26 days left. If they aren't here, speak to the vice chair if you don't know how to get a hold of them, or send them an email and just make sure you're getting in contact with them and having the conversations that you need to have. Like we've said, most of the deadlines for everything is passed, so we're really just kind of tying up most of the loose ends, getting the program guide printed, and then we'll wait until Thursday when we'll see everybody there for who's going to be there and trickle in Thursday before, like I said, those 4,000 people or more, hopefully many more, join us on Friday. So with that, again, a heartfelt thanks to everybody who's weathered all of the storms these last 2 years and stayed in here. It is greatly appreciated, not only by your fellow staff, you know, the executive team. I don't want to speak for the board, but I'm sure the board appreciates it as well. But the thousands of attendees that look forward to our con every year. You know, there are some people that spend all year waiting for Anime Detour, or have come for years and years, or this might be their first detour. So for us to be able to have the opportunity to put our labor of love before them again, and you know, I'm excited about the registration number. Like I said, you know, I don't think I'm just excited for that number. I would have been excited for just about any number. So again, a heartfelt thanks, even from me personally. You know, thank you to the people that have pushed me, and thank you to the people who will push me in 26 days, Ashley and Matt. With that, I'll turn it over to Dave for some important Anime Twin Cities announcements.
Hi, how you guys doing? First, I'm going to do GPS announcements because they're two minor ones. What? Okay. Sorry. My fault. It's totally my fault. I don't know how to do this because I'm... Anyway, we just found out the soda machine over there is not working. We didn't know until then. We're going to go get it fixed. Just the putting the money in. Second of all, GPS will not be at Anime Detour because we were going to do a cotton candy machine, but it's unfortunately the hotel says that's not going to be a good idea. So GPS just wants you to know that we still support you, even if we're not there because we were planning to do something and we can't. Now ATC. As you know, I'm the board president of ATC, and that we have several board members and a treasurer up for election this May. Candidacies should be let the board know that you wish to run. The deadline for that is the last day of the con. If you come to me or another board member at the con, please have a piece of paper. Don't just tell us verbally because, well, I forget things, and so do they. Also, the board email, which is ATC board at animedetour.com, because I totally underscored board. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm old and decrepit. Thank you, Michael, for pointing that out. No, I'm just joking. Everybody knew about it. ATC board at animedetour.com. Anime Twin Cities. Didn't I say that? Yeah, put it in chat, please. Thank you. We actually do know what we're doing. Really, we do. Anyway. Also, I wanted to point out something. Someone said, you said something about the Maid Cafe, which we're trying out for the first time this year. Just want to let you know, we got the Amp Guard back. We got the Swap Meet back. We have 2 amateur bands. We have 2 K-pop dance troupes on main stage. We have the burlesque. And, of course, we got all the other stuff. We usually get 255 events, but due to COVID, we only have 210. So there's enough to do. Anyway, I'm just very proud of that, so sorry for going out of line. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave. I don't know if the other execs up here had anything else, or if there's anything else from the department heads here in attendance. Tristan, is there anything in chat? Nothing in chat. I don't know if there's any questions from any of the staff here in attendance. Otherwise, if not, we can close it out, close the stream, and just we'll work on the stuff afterwards. Please remember to sign in, both those of you watching virtually here live and those here in attendance. Please remember to physically sign in. Otherwise, thank everyone for attending. Thank you, those of you watching online, and those of you that will watch this later. Thank you.